Hey everyone, you're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and here's today's comic. Heroes in Crisis, number 2. I was very excited to read this. This is the first book that I've read for this week. In fact, I have books from last week I haven't read. The last issue was really good. I was really shocked. This is the alternate cover. This camera is not doing this justice. You can see for the glare. Notice how the glare doesn't catch over because the rest of the book is matte. And it's just this Polaroid, which many of you probably too young to even know what Polaroids were. It's just really nice. This is glossy, the rest is matte. I love the thematic cover of the Breaking of the Bat from Nightfall. I'm pretty sure, I didn't look this up, maybe it's a future issue, but I'm pretty sure the alternate cover from the first one was Death of Superman. And I really like that the alternate covers aren't just alternate covers, they're thematic. And it's fitting with Heroes in Crisis that, you know, the most traumatic moments in the heroes' lives so far. And if they do that for all 9 issues, that would be fantastic. I'm really bummed that I didn't get the alternate cover on the first one because I really want to carry this theme. I debated long and hard over getting this particular cover because I have this weird obsession about all my covers have to be either A covers or B, the same. I don't like alternating. But in the end, I decided I did not like the cover for the A. And I really liked this B cover so much better. It was just really kind of striking. It has a more mature look to it. It's not a typical comic cover. This is something more akin to like what Watchmen did. And I don't know, I just like it just for this series. I like it for this series. And I guess if they're all stay good, I'll keep doing the B covers. And then if I really have an itch, I'll go and track down the B cover for number 1. If the series turns out to be worth it. That's the big question right now. Is it worth it? Well, let's find out. If you saw my first review, which you should, if you're looking at this one, you should look at the first review. This is going to kind of play off of that because that one really kind of took me by surprise out of nowhere, and I love just about every aspect of it. This issue, not so much. Now, I didn't hate it. Still a recommend. It's still good. It's just not the outstanding start that the first issue was. Follows the same themes. Follows the same feel as the first comic book did. And here we are with Poison Ivy. Now this threw me kind of off because we have the whole Sanctuary. And I'm going to assume, if you're watching this, that you know a little bit what's going on. Because if you didn't buy the comic, you at least read or watched my earlier video. So here we have Poison Ivy at Sanctuary, and I thought that Sanctuary was for superheroes. Apparently it's for supervillains too. Like, this throws me off. And people go, well, Harley was part of it, and here's Harley there. Yeah, but isn't Harley semi-hero now? Wasn't she, like, helping Justice League? I don't know what they're doing with Harley. She's sort of the Deadpool of the DC universe. So she gets a pass. Anyways, I mean, this is Poison Ivy. She's a true, villain. I mean, she even talks here where she's like, obviously, I shouldn't be here. You're made for heroes. I'm a terrorist. I fight Batman with vines and kisses. But Harley said, I sure did. Hey, pretty girl, how's the confession going? Harley Francis Quinn. You're not supposed to be here. You haven't been invited or picked. I don't know. You're not even supposed to know where here is. Boop. This is so cutesy. Okay, I don't understand. Did Brian Michael Bendis substitute in here for Tom King? Last issue was written so well. It opened up so great in that diner with Harlequin and Booster Gold. The dialogue was just felt spot on, and Booster was, I loved it. This, what is that? Boop. Okay, why is she she's a self-admitted terrorist who cares about the rules. You're not supposed to be here. No, people who break rules to this level don't care about other people Tom, what are you doing? Just this whole so far. If Superman or Batman or, God forbid, Wonder Woman finds out, you know how much trouble you'll be in? Boop. Did you at least leave someone to water the plants while I was gone? I did not. Harley, I'm going to boop you again. I know. Like, this is Poison Ivy. She's just being written like a normal person. All right. And then here, just like the first issue, we've got this really great 2-page spread. Unfortunately, unlike the first issue, you don't get that great opening scene that draws you in. You just get this cornball-y, silly Billy dialogue. It just seems unfitting with Poison Ivy. And then you get this. Which I really liked. It doesn't have that feel like the first one did, a Superman flying across America and everything. This seems more random, but it just the picture's not doing it justice. Again, close up on screen, this is so much better. Tom King, Clayman, does the art. Travis Moore subs in for 3 pages, and I'll be honest, I didn't actually notice them when I was reading. So that's good. So here we have Penguin, saying, "Oh, hello." I'm not going to try to do voices. I'm not great at voices. "Hey, Pengy, I know you're in the middle of dinner, but I need help. They're coming for me." Why, my dear, whatever do you mean? Who's coming for you?" "I'm not exactly sure, but probably it's everyone." Now, we skip ahead to Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman having an autopsy of the character that I'm not familiar with. I guess is Commander Steel. And we get some dialogue here. It's like, I don't. "Bruce, how many times have we stopped this? You're Batman, you know." "Sanctuary is anonymous. This allows heroes to talk about their pain and their shame. All information gathered by Sanctuary is immediately deleted. Who comes, what they say, when they leave, everything is erased. Nothing is reported. Who else was here? Who could have murdered these people? I don't know. Bruce, can we please skip the usual lie? You built a back door to spy on our weakness. It's what you do. You prepare for if any of us turn. You probably have kryptonite hidden in your belt." "I don't. Yes, I prepare, but I do not have kryptonite in my belt." Okay, so I get an intend to read. I just wanted to give you a feel of the dialogue. Here we get a little bit better, more back to the the first issue. I do like the dialogue between these characters. Some people may not so much, but I feel like this is pretty good. And they're kind of doing an autopsy, and Bruce finds something shoved down his throat. Realistically, though, all that's kind of meaningless. Like, it doesn't really serve the plot, at least at this point. And then next we get to the part that I think everyone who is going to be a hater of the book is going to hate. And the Poison Ivy, I think, was worse, but I think other people are going to, if anyone is going to be a downer on this book, I think it's this page right here. So I'll focus on this. We see Batman in Sanctuary, takes off his cowl, takes a seat. I love I just love Clayman's art. He knows how to tell a visual story. Grabbing the chair, like you just when you watch these panels sequentially, your mind fills in the motion. That's a great sequential art. Then when your mind can fill in the blanks, like imagine this as full animation, and these are just select what do you call it? Like film cells, like stills in between. Like your mind can fill in the motion between. That's fantastic. All right, so he sits down. I train partners to work with me. They become my family. I've watched so many of them die. I'm sorry. Now, I'm predicting. I don't know. I don't actually have that much issue. At first, I kind of did. Like, something grabbed me and was like, what is going on here? You're making Batman all crybaby. And then that instantly kind of went away for me. I'm just telling you my thoughts. And instantly I was like, here is a situation where Bruce Wayne just explained, he designed it so that there literally isn't a back door. No one's watching this. Is deleted. It is purely private. And we, the audience, are getting to see a side of Bruce that we don't see. That we think, oh, this is out of character. But then I'm thinking, is it out of character? Or is this just the side of Bruce that the audience never sees? That we're not supposed to see? And I'm fine with that. Like, this made me think, no, Wayne is a human being. He still has feelings. We don't see it. We see the Batman. And that's what we're supposed to see in a good Batman story. But this isn't a Batman story. This is Heroes in Crisis. And I've been positive about this book because it's not a Batman story or Superman story. It's not interjecting itself into the comic that you already know and love and trying to say, this is how we're changing things. This is a side story that you can accept or reject at your leisure and have it be a part of the continuing stories that you read in DC Comics, or you can just say, I don't really want any part of that, and it doesn't really affect you. So from that side, from that aspect, I am okay with this, because again, it's not a Batman story, and I'm okay with seeing that Batman has feelings. Moving on. Booster. God, it keeps going out of focus. Oh, hey, Skeets, what's up? All right, so we got the little robot here talking to Booster and get a little banter, and he's kind of carefree about the fact that he may have just killed everyone at Sanctuary, because that's the whole plot at this point now, is that Harlequin is blaming Booster, saying, you killed everyone and you just don't remember. And Booster's whole thing is, I was at Sanctuary and I saw Harley Quinn kill everyone. And it's a he said, she said. Is really the crux of the story at this point. And so now we go to Harley Quinn. And I thought this was interesting because I still am not sure. Is this Harley Quinn talking to the Penguin when we saw earlier, I need your help? Is this the sort of what is reality is happening? Where the where this is sort of in her head, the whole, like, if so, I think that's fantastic. It's like, because she's crazy. She should be batshit crazy, and it's not really clear, at least in this book, that that's what's happening, and that's unfortunate for me. But at least in my mind, so far, I can tell myself that that's what was happening. So Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman show up against Harley, and this was a kind of little problem I had. The first thing I thought of when it happened, I was like, okay, here's the Trinity. Like, these three have showed up. There's no way she's pulling a fast one on all three, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. This is Harley Quinn. She bested Booster Gold, and it was a little bit like, really? You beat Booster Gold? This comic explains that. She maybe could pull a fast one on one of these three, but certainly not all three, right? Like, okay, so they got Harley Quinn. We're going to get down to some story. And she's making wisecracks about, oh, the Penguin's actually good at cards, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then we transition over to Booster Gold. And this plays in the same feel as the first book, where scenes transitioning back and forth. He does a good job at it. I like it. The flow of the comic feels really good this way. Again, I love the composition here. I can't speak enough on Clayman's art. He could have just shown Booster Gold flying, in an ordinary way, but he came up with this great visual of cows at a little watering hole and the reflection in the water of Booster Gold flying over, and it just works. It's so visually interesting, and that is, you said, Hash, why are you harping on, like, why are you even, who cares? Well, you should care. This is what's failing in the industry these days. This is stuff we used to just take for granted. But now, like, I can't read Marvel comics anymore because the art is so bad. The artists aren't ready for prime time. They don't do this level. This is not what you will see. You will see just flat. I wish I had Marvel comics to like put side by side. You'll just see flat angles every single time, straight on, like a sitcom camera. It just, yeah. This is visually interesting. This is the difference between watching like a daytime soap opera and watching a movie, like an A-list movie with great cinematography. That's kind of the difference. A soap opera has a fixed camera at eye level. It never changes. It's flat, with just three walls on a set versus interesting camera angles and movement, and just I don't have the words to eloquently describe what I'm talking about, but I think you get the picture. Comics can be the same way too. A great artist can convey that, and when you're visually, your eye is traversing the page and you're following the story, interesting visual aspects enhance the experience for you. Okay, so moving along. Oh yeah, and the final part of the page is he's flying away and the cow looking, so nice bookend. Here we have traditional panels, because you can't make every panel just far out and weird. You still have to have normality so the reader can follow along. I'll pause this review for an advertisement for Drowned Earth. At least it's not Brian Michael Bendis. I am following these. Try to cover them to let you know how good or bad that they are. Back to the book. Harley Quinn's little hideout. You know what? Yeah, this is actually, she really was talking to the Penguin, because I forgot. This is a Penguin safe house. So her whole thing is like, oh, you found me. And she's like doing air quotes like, oh, what does she say? I got a safe house from the gossipiest crook in Gotham. Not because I'm trying to find a quick way to, quote, meet you. No way. But because I'm trying to hide. So I thought that was kind of a little funny part. And so that's the whole thing. Like, she knew that they would find her here. So she's like pretending to hide. And so she hugs Wonder Woman. And she's talking to her. And I'm not going to read everything. But she ends up pawning her lasso, which I thought was a little... Could that happen? I'm not sure. Like, I found myself going, I don't know, but, a good pickpocket, maybe. Like, there's an art to it, and that's believable. If it's going to happen, it's believable that Harley Quinn did that. So she gets the lasso, and she does this little leap backflip thing, and Batman's lurching for her. And this is where I started to have a little bit of a problem in not so much the storytelling, but the continuity. Batman in the DC universe is probably the greatest I don't know. I guess it depends on who's telling him. When I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, Batman was told as like the greatest human combatant. You know, just pound for pound in physical training and in combat, Batman was it. Now, obviously, people, you know, Bane broke his back because Bane had physical qualities that Batman didn't. And there's other characters with powers that could beat him, but there's just straight up just training in fighting and arts. Like, Batman is the master. This girl who's just a doctor went crazy, really has no actual training. And even the physical combat training, you know, the ability she has is just experience being a criminal. You learn by doing. Still would not be anywhere on the level of Batman, but she somehow bests him. Besting Booster Gold, okay. The Batman, really? Who's actually fought her before? Iffy. But okay, so she pulls a fast one, loops the lasso around his neck, and, you know, she's choking him from behind. Okay, and then she's doing her little song or whatever. Really? Do you have her? Okay, enough of this. Superman, hold. She'll break his neck before you break the lasso. Good. This little 110-pound woman is not breaking the Batman's neck. I don't care what that lasso is made of. I don't care how strong it is. This is not happening. Tom King, I thought you were in the CIA. I thought you knew a little bit about fighting, about just she's not a superpowered being. Like, she's choking on him. He's got a grip on the lasso. Whatever. Like, Superman just could be at her in a second, right behind her, grab her. I don't know. Whatever. So, suspension of disbelief. I'd go along with it. She's hiding here. And she's talking, hey, Bat Hostage, now that you can't lie or nothing, you got anything fancy on you? Like something to fight a Superman with? He doesn't. There's kryptonite in my bat belt. Third pouch on the left. Lead container. Batman. Oh, Batman lied. Hey, so this has been so fun, but sadly, I gotta go. And she's got kryptonite. And now as I do, I want to leave you with one thought. A reminder, really. Booster did it. And she's got kryptonite and she's escaping. So now, I don't know if this is got ramifications. This should have ramifications in the DC universe. We've seen that kryptonite is just played loosely, like Bendis, just like, oh, kryptonite, whatever. So she's off, a major supervillain with kryptonite. And now we go to Wonder Woman. Ah, boy. I'm not going to read this to you, but Wonder Woman has her whole scene that I wasn't sure I really bought. That I don't know. I don't know a lot about Wonder Woman. I'll be 100% honest. I know surface things of Wonder Woman. I grew up as a kid. I watched the Wonder Woman TV show. I never read Wonder Woman comics. Wasn't a fan of her just as a superhero. I was like, whatever, it's Wonder Woman. But then, you know, when I was a kid, you know, young boys aren't like wanting to read Supergirl comics. It's just, I was about reading comics about boys, right? Like, I was a young boy. That's what I wanted. I was like, nah, girls, whatever, you know. It wasn't because I was a misogynist. I was a young boy. So, transition, new scene. Flash doing his thing, fighting up some villains. Booster Gold shows up while he's in the middle of fighting these guys and just having a conversation. And Flash is like, what's going on? Turns out, like, Flash doesn't know what's going on. The little robot's like, shut up, Booster. He doesn't understand. He doesn't know what's going on. What? And Booster's just rattling. And then we see Wally. He says, now Flash knows that Wally's dead. And we see him run off. Zoom. And then Booster's, questioning, where's he going? And then Skeets is, I don't know, Booster. Perhaps to find Wally, confirm he's dead, and also to find evidence that points you as the killer, blah, 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 blah. And then, so probably not long, because he's fast, how long will he be on? And then here we see Flash coming in, and, coming in at, I don't know how fast Flash was going. It's going at least speeding car, right? If not faster. You hit someone that hard, you'd shatter every bone in their face, break their neck. You'd probably kill them. But this is comic books, so that sort of stuff. Physics are played loosely. Because also Flash would shatter probably his arm and everything too. But again, comic book physics. I'm not going to nitpick that. What did you do? And I have a little bit of a problem with this too. Like, why are we writing these heroes as a bunch of adults? Booster just showed up and has asked for your help. Told you that Wally was dead. Why do you immediately think he did it? Like, you come in here like punching him. I could imagine him running back, showing up, huffing and puffing, like being red-faced, angry, like, what's going on? Did you have anything to do with this? I can understand that. But just physically assaulting him, you haven't established any reason for Flash to just be this raving of a lunatic. These are the heroes. These are the good guys. They don't just, you set me, something's triggered me and I'm just going to start punching Nazis. Not that that's what's really happening here, but that's like sort of the mentality of like modern writers. Like, don't look at heroes as these aspirational heroes. As the good guys that don't succumb to baser emotions so easily. They think and they act in heroic fashion. Here's Flash's, I don't care. So, here we go back. We see Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. They're looking out the sky, and he's like, "You have her? I see how she got the drop on you, Bruce. She's good. As good as you." Wreck and scratch. What? Did you, Superman, just say that Harlequin is good as the Batman? The guy who could be Superman? What? Dude, Harlequin is a little girl who's a doctor, who's crazy. That's it. She's not... Let me see Batman. She's not as... Boys, not the time. Wait, no. Harley? No, it's Barry. He's got Booster and he's... No! So, I liked this scene. Again, the art is just carrying this where the dialogue is lacking. This setup, from the behind shot looking out to show what everyone's looking at. The intermediate part of the page where normal traditional framing and having the dialogue, and then the bookend shot of him looking up at the sky, and then just the same angle of just off, and you can just visualize this happening. And the penguin was a really cute touch, like not in a cheesy way. I was like, oh, I appreciate that. That's kind of charming. I like the penguin. All right, so then we go to Harley Quinn sitting on top of some bridge, and she's talking about different things, and she's lamenting about Joker. And I thought this was interesting because, again, I don't know a lot about Harley Quinn. Much of what I know about her is surface as well, because she never really interested me as a character. I thought she was interesting as a Joker sidekick. She interested me on that level. I saw the Suicide Squad movie, and the actress, I forget her name, that played Harley Quinn did a standout job, I thought, and kind of stole the show. But even still, I was like, I don't like that character. It's some random girl that just goes crazy and carries around a big hammer. Doesn't just instantly become a super threat. Like, it just doesn't make... It's just nonsense. I don't care how cute she is to cosplay as. So, let's see this scene. So she's like, I shouldn't have done so many things. I shouldn't have let anyone hurt you. I shouldn't have followed you to Sanctuary. I shouldn't have told you to go to Sanctuary. I shouldn't have loved you. I shouldn't have met you. I shouldn't have run from Mr. J. I shouldn't have loved Mr. J. I shouldn't have helped Mr. J. I shouldn't have let anyone change me. I shouldn't have let anyone hurt me. Okay. So I kind of found this interesting on my level as being kind of a newbie. Is like, what's going on here? Is she talking about Mr. J the whole time? Or is she talking about a different person? Now that she's not with Joker, did she fall for someone else? And that's the problem? And then Joker intervened? Is Joker the killer? Like, he obviously seems maybe he has a play. This was kind of mysterious. And I like that because it compelled me into the story again. Wait, what's going on here? So that's all we get, unfortunately. It's a little tease. And now we go to the Daily Planet. And then I'm confused because I'm like, wait a second. Why is Lois Lane at the Daily Planet? I'm reading Superman and she's not. She went off into space. What? Is there no continuity at DC? She came back from space and she's writing her book in a hotel room. She's taken like a leave of absence. Presumably for a year or two. And here's the thing. This girl, I thought, was a Bendis character. Isn't that the girl that had the kryptonite? I can't tell. I don't... Alright, so... yeah. So she's talking to Lois about some different things. And it's... I guess this is important because from a plot standpoint, she's talking about a story and got a message and it has attachments. And Lois is caught up in her own thing. And it's... maybe she just, like, starts off like she can't spell traitor. Really, Lois Lane, Pulitzer Prize winner, can't spell traitor. This doesn't look like a total crank. She's like, now she's trying to use the word ubiquitous. How do I use it? So this girl's talking to her. She's just not listening at all. But meanwhile, we, the audience, are hearing what she's saying. And the important aspect is it's got an attachment. And it's a person talking to a camera about drugs and stuff, which is Arsenal. Which, if you're following along, Sanctuary is supposed to be private. Okay. Apparently it's not private. So there's the crux of the story. And she's like, what? What'd you say? Signed the Puddlers. So now that's kind of the audience cue to be like, whoa, what's going on? And then the final page is Clark Kent doing his Sanctuary thing. And I really won't go into that. It's... my video cut off because it only lets me record a half hour at a time. That signals to me that this is way too long. I'm not going to go on this last page. I guess you can pause it and read it if you want to spoil it for yourself. It doesn't really reveal anything, so it's not really important to go over, but it's just Superman doing his little interview in front of the camera, the little psychological profile. Heroes in Crisis. I'm still positive about this book. This is a dip from the first book, which was a real high. This was just a moderately good, with some annoying qualities that are forgivable qualities. But for Tom King as like the superstar of DC right now, this is some of these things. It's like, come on. And you know what? Honestly, as much as I want to point fingers at Tom King, this is an editorial. This is all a problem with editorial. An editor should be telling Tom what I'm saying right now, right? Like holding his fat to the fire. That's the real issue. Tom King is just writing what he believes makes for a good story and the characters as best as he knows them. The editor's job is to know them even better and to be, scholars in comics as well as writing comics and to be able to hold the writer to certain standards and hold continuity together, like things with Lois and Super. Like in the old days of comics, like you couldn't write this story without first saying, "Oh, we got Superman. What's Superman doing right now?" Everyone made sure that all these books, they made sense. They didn't just go off the reservation. So thumbs up, move the needle. This is a good book. I don't see it necessarily going anywhere bad. It is just a dip, which is okay. And I don't get the feeling like, oh, this is just going completely crazy. I just feel like out of 9 issues, it just had to have a lull. So I'm going to keep buying this. I'm going to get issue number 3. I'm very interested to see what's going on. I love the art so much, and the writing is decent. So yeah, tell me what you think about Heroes in Crisis. Tell me if I was right about the part that you hated. I didn't hate it. Maybe other people did. If you hate Heroes in Crisis, like a lot of people do, Englentine hates what they're doing here. If you think it's just messing with the DC continuity, changing your characters for the worse, what have you, that's fair, I guess. But remember that this is a side story, and if you read the actual books, these characters aren't being changed. So, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling now. Thanks for watching. Post your comments, like and subscribe, all that stuff. See ya.